Dear students, in this video lecture, we are going to understand the maths behind mixing two mixtures. So what is meant by mixing two mixtures? So in this section, we would be dealing with these kind of questions. Let's suppose you have two different acid solutions, sulfuric acid solution or whatever, two different acid solution. So let's suppose this is 40% concentrated and this is 25% concentrated. Fine. And let's suppose we have another mixture, another acid solution which is, let's say, 30% concentrated. So you have three different samples. Each sample have different concentration. Concentration means it's a mixture. That's why we are writing concentration to represent the relative strength of one of the components. So if you are taking, let's say, 80 ml of this liquid, 120 ml of this liquid and 160 ml of this liquid, and mix them up, mix them so that they become one single solution. So if someone asks what is the final concentration, what percentage concentration in the final solution, so these kind of questions are known as mixing of mixtures. So it is all, each of these three sample is a mixture. So now we would be mixing the mixtures. So what should be the approach? Whenever you are mixing the mixtures and you know the percentage concentration and you simply want to find the result, what is the outcome, what is the resultant percentage, that means you already knew while mixing itself, you knew what was the concentration and you want to find what is the resultant concentration, then you can use the method of weighted average. Weighted average. So what that is, we will understand with the help of an example. So look at the quantities 80, 120 and 160. Just take the simplest ratio because this is relative quantity, relative. The absolute value does not matter. It simply means that for every, take their simplest ratio, 80, 120, 160, all are divisible by 40. So 2:3:4. It simply means if you are taking 2 milliliters from here, you have to take 3 milliliters from here and 4 milliliters from this one. So just relation, relative ratio. Now what? You have to mix all these three. We want to know what is the final concentration. So take the weighted average. Weighted average means 40 into 2 plus 25 into 3. That means these figures does not matter anymore. 80 ml, 120 ml, 160 ml. These numbers do not matter. Their ratio matters. 2:3:4. And then we take weighted average. So 40 into 2 plus 25 into 3 plus 30 into 4 divided by the total quantity which you have already converted into ratio, 2 plus 3 plus 4. So whatever answer you get from here, so let's find out. 80 plus 75, 155, 155 plus 120, that means 275 divided by 9. So that is equal to 30.55. So this is the concept of weighted average. So when do we use weighted average method? When n substances with value x1, x2 and xn are mixed in such a way that their weights in the mixture are so and so, W1 and Wn respectively, then the weighted average of the mixture is given by, so weight into concentration. Anyways, we will take examples, things will become more clear. The second concept that you have to understand is meant for the second type of questions, when you will be given the properties of two solutions. That means you will be already told that you are provided with two different types of solution. One is 40% concentrated, the other is 25% concentrated, and this time it won't be told to you that how much quantity of this is mixed with how much quantity of this. In fact, you will be asked to determine in what quantities are the mixtures to be mixed. Fine. So this time you have to determine, you have to tell us that we are going to take this many liters of let's say solution A, and we are going to mix with these many liters of solution B. That means you have to determine the ratio. Then you will be given a target that you have to mix them in such a ratio that the final resultant comes out to be equal to 30%. So this will be the premise of the question. Then how should you approach? The approach for these type of questions should involve the concept of alligation. So it would be given that you are given two types of sample. First sample was 40% concentrated. The second sample was 25% concentrated. So if you mix these two, the concentration will come somewhere in between. It will drop from 40 and it will increase from 25. So if you mix, it will balance out. It will try to balance. So the final result will come somewhere between 40 and 25. So this is the concept of alligation. So suppose it is told to you that the final concentration is 30%, and you simply have to tell that how many liters of A is to mixed with how many liters of B. Then what should your approach be? So you draw this diagram. That means you are going to mix something which is 40% concentrated with something that is 25% concentrated, and the resultant that you are expecting is 30% concentrated. Now take the alligation method, difference of these two, and write it diagonally, difference of 40 and 30. So difference of 40 and 30 is 10, difference of 25 and 30 diagonally, so this is 5. So this 5 and 10 will give you an indication of the ratio in which these mixtures are to be mixed. So this ratio tells us that 1 unit of A has to be mixed with 2 units of B. So this way, first you have to find out the ratio. So two different types of questions. One in which it will be told to you that you are taking so and so quantity of these solutions and then mixing, and then you have to tell what is the final outcome. The second type in which the final outcome is already known. It is already known that the final outcome is going to be 30% concentrated, and we are simply expected to find the ratio of the quantities in which these mixtures are to be mixed. So let's take a few examples to make things more clear. So let's see this example. A, B, C are 20, 30 and 50% milk solution. So what is meant by this? So these percentages are representing the strength of the milk. So 50% milk solution and 20% milk solution, which is better? So if you think in terms of milk content, 50% milk solution, that means whatever you are buying, 50% of that would be milk. So three different types of solution, A, B and C. In what quantities? 20 liters, 40 liters, 80 liters. What is their strength? 20%, 30% and 50%. What is the question? So if they are mixed, so we have to find the resultant strength. So use the concept of weighted average. So before applying the concept of weighted average, we have to take the ratio of these quantities. The actual value doesn't matter, it's the ratio that matters. So the ratio of 20, 40 and 80, 1:2:4, and now you can apply the formula of weighted average. So 1 into 20 plus 2 into 30 plus 4 into 50 whole divided by 1 plus 2 plus 4. So what this comes out to be? 1 into 20, 20 plus 60, 80, 80 plus 200. So 280 divided by 3 plus 4, 7. So 280 divided by 7. So this comes out to be equal to 40%. Now let's move to the next one. A milkman has 2 cans of milk. The first contains 25% water and rest milk. The second contains 50% water. How much milk should be mixed from each of the containers so as to get 12 liters of milk such that the ratio of milk to water is 3:5. Now please understand what is being conveyed here. So here again 2 different milk solutions are available. So what is their concentration? The first one is 25% concentrated and the second one is 50% concentrated. So 2 different milk solutions. Let's call them A and B. So A is 25% concentrated, B is 50% concentrated. You want to mix them. So what is the motive? Why are you mixing these 2 solutions? The motive is to come up with a new solution in which water and milk are in the ratio 3:5. So water and milk in the ratio 3:5. So convert this ratio into percentage, because all the other, all the quality of the solution is given in terms of percentage, not in terms of ratio. So you have to convert this ratio also in terms of percentage, make it homogeneous. So water to milk, the ratio is 3:5. This is for the resultant mixture. So in the resultant mixture, what is the percentage of water? If you find this out, percentage of water, so out of 8 parts, 3 parts water, 5 parts milk. So out of 8 parts, 3 parts are of water. So what is this percentage? So 50 by 4, or you can cancel by 4. So 25 by 2, 75 by 2. So this is 37.50%. So basically you are mixing 2 solutions, 25% and 50%, with a motive that you should come up with a new solution having percentage of water as 37.50. So now you can apply the alligation method, butterfly method, alligation method. So 25 and 37, what is the difference? 12.5, write it diagonally. So what is the difference between 50 and 37.5? That too is 25.50. So now take the ratio of these 2 numbers. So this will give you the ratio. So ratio is 1:1. It means 1 unit of solution A is to be mixed with 1 unit of solution B. Now what is the final volume that you want to obtain? So final volume that you want to obtain is 12 liters. And how are you going to obtain that? By mixing 1 unit of A with 1 unit of B. That means the final volume of 12 liter is going to come in this manner. So some part of it is going to come from A, some part of it is going to come from B. In what ratio? Ratio of 1:1. So 12 liter divided in the ratio 1:1. So that comes out to be 6 liters of A has to be mixed with 6 liters of B. So option C is the Final answer. Now let's see this one. Two milk containers A and B. So two milk containers, so let's name them A and B. So they contain milk and water in the ratio 7:1. So this one contains milk and water in the ratio 7:1, and the second container contains in the ratio 1:3. What is the question? In what ratio should they be mixed to get a final solution containing milk and water in the ratio 1:1? So this is the question. So the best way to approach these questions, if all the three figures are given in terms of ratio, add the terms of the ratio. 7 plus 1, 8, 1 plus 3, 4, and 1 plus 1, 2. So now take the LCM of these three, 8, 4, and 2. So what is the LCM of 8, 4, and 2? 8 itself. 8 itself. So try to make the terms such that the sum of terms comes out to be 8. So now restructure this ratio AB and the resultant. So restructure. The sum of this is already 8. So let this be as it is, 7:1. So this can be written as 2:6. And this can be written as 4:4. Now, what does 7:1 indicate? It indicates that 7 parts of milk and 1 parts of water. Similarly, here 4:4 indicates 4 parts of milk and 4 parts of water. So you can apply the method of alligation on these numbers. 7, concentrate on only one element. 7, 2, and 4. So you'll get the same answer if you apply the concept of alligation on these numbers. You will get the ratio. So what is the difference between 7 and 4? 3. What is the difference between 4 and 2? 2. So this 2:3 is the ratio. If you solve the same question using different approach, so let's see if we reach the same answer. Instead of homogenizing the ratio, if you had gone for the fractional approach, then let's see what could have been the approach. So let's see the second method, alternative method. Now instead of ratio method, let's use the fractional method. So the first container contained milk and water in the ratio 7:1. It means the fraction or the proportion of milk in container 1 is 7 out of 8. That means out of 8 parts, 7 parts are of milk. Similarly, for container B, what is the proportion of milk? It is 1/4. What is the proportion of milk in the resultant? 1:1. That means out of 2 parts, 1 part has to be of milk. So you want to mix this with this to achieve this. So now you can apply alligation, butterfly alligation method on this. So what is the difference between 7/8 and half? So 7/8 minus half. So 7/8 minus 4/8, so that is 3/8. So you have to write that diagonally. So this is 3/8. Similarly, find the difference between these two numbers, half and 1/4. So since half is greater than 1/4, so the difference, so half minus 1/4. So that is 2/4 minus 1/4. So this comes out to be 1/4. So this gives the ratio. We have to mix in this ratio. Let's see, is this 2:3? So 1/4 is to 3:8. So this comes out to be 8:12. Cross multiplication, 8:12. So 2:3. But you see, this takes more time. So going for fractional approach involves time. So always try to avoid this. Whenever fractions ratios are given, try to convert them into whole numbers. So you'll see another example, things would become more clear. two vessels A and B contain spirit and water in the ratio 5:2 and 7:6 respectively. So two vessels A, B, the ratio 5:2 and 7:6. Then what we have to do? Find the ratio in which these mixtures has to be mixed to obtain a new mixture in the vessel C containing spirit and water in the ratio 8:5. So this is what you want in the resultant. So we will use both the approaches, both the methods that we just learned, and let's see which comes easy to you. Now, first method, try to make the ratio homogeneous. How? The sum here is 7, 5 plus 2, 7. The sum here is 7 plus 6, 13. Here also the sum is 13. So take the LCM. LCM of 13, 13 and 7. So LCM is 91. So convert them in such a manner so that their sum comes to be equal to 91. So 7 into 13 is 91. So basically we'll have to multiply the terms of the ratio with 13. So 5:2 can also be written as 13 into 5. 65 is to 13 into 2, 26. Such that now if you add these terms, the terms add up to 91. So now apply the same logic here. 7:6. The sum here is 13, but you want the sum to be 91. So 13 into 7 is 91. So 7 sevens are 49. 7 6 are 42. So the ratio 7:6 can also be written as 49:42. So now same question, you have changed the data. This is to be mixed with this 49:42 to achieve what? Similarly, 13 into 7 is 91. So 7 8s are 56 is to 35. Now concentrate on only one element. So remove the ratio for the second element. So remove this and then apply alligation method. So the difference between 65 and 56, 9. Difference between 49 and 56, 7. So the answer is 7:9. So this was using the ratio method. Now let's use the fractional approach, fractional method. So the original ratio is A 5:2. So two solutions A and B. Here it is 5:2. Here it is 7:6. And in the resultant it is 8:5. So now let's use the fractional method. So look at the proportion of any one component. So look at the proportion of the first component. So out of 7 parts, 5 parts represent the first component. So you can rewrite this. This is 5/7. Similarly, the proportion of the first element here is 7 out of 13. And in the resultant, you want to see 8 out of 13 parts. So now apply the butterfly alligation method, you will get the ratio. So the difference between 5/7 and 8/13. So 5/7 minus 8/13. So LCM is 91. So you can see same amount of effort, same amount of calculation have to be done in some other way. So it's very similar to the ratio method. The number of steps are actually, more. So 13 sevens are 91, 13, 65, 8 sevens are 56. So this is 9/91. And if you calculate this, 8/13 minus 7/13, so this comes out to be 1/13. So 1/13 can also be written as 7/91. So you can see the ratio 7:9 again. Same ratios, but two different methods. So I would always suggest that whenever data is given in terms of ratio, don't go for the fractional approach. Okay, now let's have a look at this one. Again, two solutions, 2:3. So let's name them A:B. Ratio is 2:3. Here the ratio is 4:5, and in the resultant you want to see this ratio 3:4. So 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 4 9, 4 plus 3 7. Okay, so take their LCM. So this LCM comes out to be 9 into 5, 45 into 7, 45 into 7. So basically if you multiply this with 9 into 7 and this with 5 into 7, because the sum is already, and this you need to multiply with 5 into 9 to make terms homogeneous. So in this case I would suggest, since in this case you can take fractional approach. That would be easy because here the data is not you can say straightforward. So let's use the fractional approach here. So think in terms of proportion. Think in terms of any one element, milk. So what is the proportion of milk? 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. In this case, what is the proportion of milk? 4 out of 9. And in the resultant, you expect the proportion of milk to be 3 out of 7. 3 out of 7. So let's use the alligation method. So the difference of 2 by 5 and 3 by 7. So let's find the difference. 35, 14 minus 15. So this comes out to be 1 by, actually 3 by 7 is greater than 2 by 5. So 3 by 7 minus 2 by 5. So 35, 15 minus 14. So 1 by 35. Now the difference between 4 by 9 and 3 by 7. So 4 by 9 minus 3 by 7. So let's see. LCM is 63. 7 4s are 28. 9 3s are 27. So 1 by 63. So the ratio 1 by 63 is to 1 by 35. So this is 35 is to 63, 7 is to 9, 5 is to 9 because both these are multiples of 7. So if you cancel them out, 5 is to 9. Now let's have a look at this one. Two solutions of 90% and 97% purity are mixed, resulting in 21 liters of mixture of 94% purity. So you already know that you are going to mix something which is 90% pure with something that is 97% pure. The resultant would be 94% pure. So immediately you can find out the ratio in which these are to be mixed. So the difference of 90 and 94, 4. Difference of 97 and 4, 3. So this is the ratio in which you are going to mix them. Ratio of 3:4. What is the final volume? Final volume is 21. That means 21, some part of it came from A, some part of it came from B. Final volume, you have mixed them and the final volume is 21. In what ratio were you mixing them? In 3:4. So divide 21 in the ratio 3:4. So 3 by 7. So this is 9 and this is 12. So question is, how much is the quantity of first solution? So 9 liters is the quantity of the first solution in the mixture. Now let's have a look at this one. Two containers of equal capacity. Please mind this word. Two containers of equal capacity, not concentration. So two containers of equal capacity are full of mixture of oil and water. In the first, the ratio of oil to water is 4:7. So you have two containers, both are of equal capacity. Please remember that. In the first, the ratio is 4:7. In the second, the ratio of component is 7:11. Now, add the terms of the ratio. 7 plus 1 is 11 and 7 plus 11 is 18. Now, try to assign a mathematical value to the volume of the container, because it is said that the volumes are of equal capacity. So better assume the LCM of these numbers, 11 and 18. So what is the LCM? 198. So you can assume that you are mixing 198 units of first mixture with exactly 198 units of second mixture, because it is given equal capacity. Why did we do so? Because 198, it is easy to divide 198 in the ratio 4:7, and also at the same time in the ratio 7:11. So now 198 units of A is mixed with 198 units of B. Let's see what is the resultant. So before mixing, let's find out the actual quantity of elements. So 198 divided in the ratio 4:7. So first element, 4 out of 11 parts of 198. Or basically you have to multiply this with 18. So 18 fours are 72. 18 sevens are 126. Now this one you have to multiply with 11. So 77 and 121. So if you add these two, you get a completely new solution. What is the amount of elements in the final one? So 72 plus 77, so that is 149, and 126 plus 121, so that is 247. So this is the structure of the final resultant solution. So what is the ratio of elements? 149 is to 247. Now look at this question. What will be the ratio of petrol and kerosene in the final solution formed by mixing petrol and kerosene that are present in 3 identical vessels? Identical vessels means what? Their volume is same. So what is the ratio? 4:1, 5:2 and 6:1. So if you add the terms of the ratio, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 2 7 and 6 plus 1 7. So assume volume to be the LCM of these numbers. LCM of 5 7 7, so that is 31. So assume volume of each container. Volume of each container to be equal to 35 units. So 3 containers, each of 35 units. 35, 35, 35. But the ratios were different. 4:1, here 5:2, and here 6:1. So let us divide. Let us find the actual quantity of elements. So 4:1. So 28 and 7. 5:2. So 5 plus 2 7. So 5. 25 and 10. 6:1. So 7. So 5. 30:5. So if you add these 3 mixtures, you will get a brand new mixture. So in that mixture, the actual quantity of the elements, let's find out. So 28 plus 25, 53. 53 plus 30, 83. And the second element, 7 plus 10, 17. 17 plus 5, 22. So you can see in the final mixture, the resultant comes out in the ratio 83:22. Now let's see this one. 4 containers have mixtures of milk and water in the ratio 4:3, 5:4, 1:2 and 2:5. Mixtures from all the 4 containers are poured into a big vessel which is 4.2 times the size of each container. Fine. and the remaining part of big vessel is filled with water. Find the ratio of milk to water in the big vessel. So 4 containers, each having solutions of milk and water in different ratios. So ratios are 4:3. So if you add them up, sum is 7. The other ratio is 5:4. If you add them up, sum is 9. The other ratio is 1:2. If you add them up, sum is 3. The last ratio is 2:5. If you add them up, sum is 7. So assume volume to be such a number which is LCM of all these numbers. LCM of 7, 9, 3 and 7. So LCM is 63. So I assume volume of each container is equal to 63. So what is the question? 4 containers are already there. So 4 containers, each of volume 63. So this is what we have assumed. 63. Second one, 63. Third one, 63. Fourth one also 63. So you are mixing this 4 in a big vessel whose volume is 4.2 times. So 4 times, so these 4 containers are sufficient to fill the remaining 0.2 times. That means 0.2 into 63 will be filled with water, because this volume is 4.2 times. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 4 times will be taken care of by these 4 containers. This extra 0.2 will be filled with water. So what amount of water additionally that you are going to pour? So that is 0.2 into 63. So that is equal to 12.6. Now let us see the ratio. Ratio was 4:3. 4:3. 5:4. 5:4. 1:2 and 2:5. So let's divide the components in the given ratio first, and then we will add them. So 63 in this ratio. So 4 plus 3, 7. So multiplication factor of 9. So 9 4s are 36. 9 3s are 27. 5 plus 4, 9. So multiplication factor of 7. 7 5s are 35. 7 4s are 28. 1 plus 2, 3. So multiplication factor of 21. So 21 into 1, 21. 21 into 2, 42. 5 plus 2, 7. So multiplication factor of 9. 9 2s are 18. 9 5s are 45. So if you add these 4 and an additional 12.6 liters of water, so in the final solution, the actual value of the components would be 36 plus 35 plus 21 plus 18 plus this additional 12.6, this is water, so plus 12.6, and the second component 27 plus 28 plus 42 plus 45. So this comes out to be equal to, actually this water, this is representing water, so this 12.6 will have to be added here. So 36 plus 35, 71, 71 plus 21, 92, 92 plus 18, 110. So 110. Now let's add this. 27 plus 28, 55. 55 plus 42, 97. And 97 plus 45 plus 12.6. So this comes out to be equal to so this comes out to be, if you add this 27 plus 28, 42, 45, 12.6, so this comes out to be 154.6. So the final ratio is 110 is to 154.6. So if you have to remove this decimal, you multiply both the terms with 10. So the final ratio is 1100 is to 1546. So yes, this is the final answer.